I am back from TwitchCon. If you didn't know, yes, I went to TwitchCon and it was possibly one of the craziest, most amazing experience of my life. And I know you probably just want to get to why I was on Scar's stream and what it was like to meet Scar, but there's a lot to go through, so I'm just gonna get right into it. So on day 1 of TwitchCon, we had MCC live. We wanted the best seats, so we were actually queuing before the TwitchCon doors opened, and we were in the arena by like 10 something, and we actually did get like front row seats. While waiting for it to start, we saw Tango and Skiz, so we went up to say hello and got our badges signed. Then a couple minutes later, they came over to Scar's brother to ask about stuff, and the line started to form for them, which was kind of funny. Then it was time for MCC, and I gotta say, I absolutely love it. I was seated front row with a bunch of other Scarians, and we were cheering our heads off for the Aqua Escalotls. I had my bandana on and everything.
Chad, I want to apologize. I do not have my aviators on.
Don't worry, Scar, we got you covered. Anyway, we had Discord and Scar stream up during the event because it's always much more fun to watch along with friends. And if you're unaware, I recently joined Scar's moderation team for his Twitch channel. So I was checking up on the mod chats on Discord and I saw a few messages from the mods regarding the Verizon giveaway that was supposed to be happening during the MCC stream. Basically, they were supposed to temporarily mod someone from theirs and to do stuff and things, but they weren't there. So Scar's mods were unsure if he signed up and was trying to get his attention. Then I realized his brother was literally sitting like 3 seats down from me. So I went up to ask him about it, and that's when he suggested I get up on stage to ask Scar directly. And I may have freaked out a little bit, but of course he was very kind and he walked me to the stage. So that's the backstory of how and why I crashed Scar's stream. I would also like to take this opportunity to call out Scar's Discord for being an absolute menace, because look what happened when I got on stage. Now, of course, if you watch the clip, you may notice that I completely forgot to do one thing, and that was to introduce myself. So Scar had absolutely no idea it was me, and like Chad, he probably thought I was just some random Twitch staff. So that was kind of silly of me. You'd think that afterwards I would have introduced myself at the post-MCC meet and greet, but nope. My brain was straight up not braining that day. In all fairness, it had been a super long day. Like I said, we got to the convention before the doors opened, so we were in the arena by 10 AM and MCC started at 12 and ended at about 3, and they immediately had a meet and greet afterwards, which went on till past 5, and we were in the last batch of people to actually queue for the meet and greet. I got Scar to sign a Scarland print, which got him speechless when he saw it, and another evidence that my brain was done because he asked where I wanted it signed, and I wanted it signed in the bottom corner of the print, but I told him he could sign it anywhere, which was fine. It's not the end of the world. I also told him I have more stuff for him to sign at the meetup, which was supposed to be a cheeky like tease, but I think it came off as a threat, so I apologize for that, Scar. On day 2, we had the Minecraft community meetup. Before the meetup though, we walked around the convention to kill some time, and we actually bumped into Gem and Impulse. And we had a little chat before letting Impulse get some tea for his throat. If you caught his Phasmo stream, you could hear that his voice was completely gone. So the Hermits couldn't get an official meet and greet set up, so the next best option was to show up at this meetup, which was unfortunate because they pretty much got swarmed by the second they entered, and it was definitely not enough time to meet like all the Hermits. And Scar had a massive queue to no one's surprise. If you didn't know, I'm from Singapore, so I packed some local snacks into a small gift bag for the Hermits. I also printed out the rift for them to sign, which was kind of my main talking point with everyone, that I came from Singapore and I crossed the rift to get to TwitchCon. The Hermits really enjoyed seeing the rift, and I talked to Impulse about the crossover and how Ollie saw my tweet about him finding Ollie's hidden music disc, and Skiz was super sweet about getting the snack pack and started ruffling through it right in the middle of the room. It would honestly make my entire life if Imp and Skiz has a TwitchCon podcast episode and did a taste test. Please. My meetup with Jam was brief because they started gathering everyone to get a picture and we didn't know what was going on. And Cup also thought the Rift print was cool and asked how I made it. I literally just photoshopped it from a screenshot of Grian's Rift. I didn't get to meet Tango at the meetup because Scar's line was getting cut due to time constraints and he was my priority. Lucky for me, I came with friends from the Scar Discord and they were kind enough to hold the spot for me while I was meeting other hermits. My meetup with Scar can be summed up in one word: awkward. I was super awkward and a mess, but also because we were in a rush and have so much I wanted to say and do, my brain just couldn't keep up. I made a joke afterwards that it was Scar meeting GTWS edits instead of me meeting Scar because he was the one telling me that he loved my videos and GIFs and how he saved so many of them. And Scar, I just want to say thank you. You know I enjoy making them and your kind words mean the world to me. Then he gave me a hug and my brain just stopped functioning completely. Of course, I couldn't get him to sign just the Rift. I printed out one of my best works for him to sign and coupled it with a 3D printed Magenta Glazed Terracotta block from Captain Corey. We managed to get Scar in real life.
Oh God, here we go. Sorry.
Oh no!
Come on, Scar, you know it's your favorite. Absolute
That's actually really
favorite.
cool.
It is, isn't it?
They're so well.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's so beautifully photoshopped.
Scar then had to be moved to another location because the time was up and he still had a line. My friends and I continued queuing for Scar in the new line. Cat One Dog, the legend, gave up her mod badge for me and that was so unbelievably kind because it was so hard to get one. So thank you so much. Then I realized that Scar had not signed my TwitchCon badge, so I had another go. I know I was going back in line like I was in a queue for a ride at Disney, but if you think I got better at talking to Scar, you're completely wrong. But I did get him to sign my TwitchCon badge and he offered to sign my mod badge. Someone tell me why I didn't just take the badge off because what is this? If you get on the Scar Discord, you notice that sometimes it gets referred to as the Scarland Cafe. So we wrote out a little sign and decided to get a group photo with it. And it's honestly one of my favorite photos because these people made this trip so much better than I could have ever imagined. So day 3 had a little somber undertone knowing Scar was already headed home and that the convention was coming to an end, but Impulse was about to have his Phasmo stream and I was excited to watch in person because I've been obsessed with his Phasmo streams. So while I was on the way to the convention center, I got a message from Cyan that Tango was there, so I power walked my way to the Sony booth since I was still missing his signature on the Rift. And Gem and Skiz was also there, so we all had a little chat while waiting for the stream to start. But yeah, Tango stood there and let us chat his ears off. What a trooper. And Impulse's stream was amazing. If you missed it, you should definitely watch the VOD. The crowd answering to "Where are you?" was the most amazing thing ever, and you can even see me wave to the camera. So I managed to sneak into 2 Hermit streams during TwitchCon, which I must say is quite a unique TwitchCon experience. After the stream, we headed to Scott's meet and greet booth. He also enjoyed seeing the Rift print, and we both cried over the long flight waiting for us to go home. And I'm sorry about this picture, I looked a mess, but Scott is always cute. Of course, just look at his shirt. Afterwards, me and my buddies just sat at the food court and talked about anything and everything. I even tasted American chocolate, which I can confirm, just like Grian said, it tasted like sick. Although I'm not 100% sure if it was just the brand, because I also had other chocolates like Three Musketeers and Butterfinger, and they were quite alright. And that was TwitchCon. Like I said, we came for Scar, but being there with members of his Discord really made this trip for me. Scar has created such an amazing, wholesome community, and I had such a blast exploring TwitchCon with them. Getting to TwitchCon was a nightmare because it was such a last-minute decision, and I definitely broke my wallet for this, but it was so worth it, and I would do it all over again for a Minecon or a HermitCon, so fingers crossed, may we meet again.